All right, Kentucky Dave and Mojovia, we got a double bill show spotlight for you guys.
We are spanning the country, aren't we?
We are coast to coast with the most. I should have done my with Wolfman Jack impersonation there.
No, you shouldn't.
Thanks for the vote of confidence, my friend.
There you go.
Well, you know, we're post-Nats and the weather's cooling off, at least here in Kentucky. Man, it was a little chilly this morning.
You ain't kidding.
Shows are picking up again.
Yes. Post-Nats, you get the fall show boom.
And we got a couple to talk about.
Yes, we do.
Well, the first one up, Dave, is right here in our own region, Region 4, but up in the far northeast corner.
Yep.
I don't know that I've ever been to that one.
No, I have not either, but I'm aware of it.
Well, everybody can be aware of it now. So let's get into the first spotlight, Dave.
Okay.
And up tonight first is Joe Paychak from the Shenango Valley Area Scale Modelers. And they are also in Region 4 like us, but they're up in the opposite northeast corner of our region just about, I think.
They are at the exact, we are at the actual bottom southwest corner, Region 4, and they are at the top northeast corner. So we're the two ends of Region 4.
Joe, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing real good. Thank you very much. How are you guys?
We're good. And we appreciate the opportunity to let us feature your show for September.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You're very welcome. Well, let's just start out with the who, what, and where bit of this and tell us the generals of the show. We'll start with there. That's always a good place.
Okay. We're the Shenango Valley Area Scale Modelers, an IPMS chapter. This is going to be our 40th annual yearly model show, or SVASCOM. Doesn't really roll off the tongue, but that's a hard thing to abbreviate. So the area that Shenango Valley is basically between Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and Erie. Also the Youngstown, Warren area. Really large, covers a very large, somewhat rural area. We've had a lot of modelers come through over the years. A lot of names that people would actually probably be familiar with. We get pretty good turnout at our shows. Last year, I think we had 330 models on the tables.
Nice.
Pretty well representative of the hobby. Lot of cars, a lot of automotive modelers, but armor really well represented. Aircraft comes and goes. Same with ship modeling. We've seen a lot of increase in figures over the last few years, and we're starting to, we're trying to get more Gundam and mini modelers to the shows, and that's been picking up. So
yeah.
And dioramas like myself. I mean, we usually have a pretty good amount of dioramas as well. So I think it's as well represented as any of the, semi-larger shows in larger cities like Pittsburgh and Cleveland, just maybe not quite the volume.
Now, where is the show actually held?
So this year it is going to be at St. Michael's Social Hall, 2230 Highland Road in Hermitage, PA. That's going to be a new venue for us. And it's going to give us a little more to work with than we have in the past using VFW halls and armories. We're going to have two separate rooms, one for the model show itself and then one for vendors. The show itself starts on Saturday, September 20th. Registration begins at 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. and judging is going to start promptly at 12:15.
And when do you all anticipate wrapping up? Because everybody always wants to know when will judging be over, awards out, and we can wrap up.
We're hoping for a firm 2 hours of judging, and at the end of it, we're going to do something a little bit different this year because we're going to have two halls. We are going to give it a shot and close the one hall, and then go into judging. And at the conclusion of that, we are going to be taking all of the medals, and we are a gold, silver, bronze judging style. So we're open. We've been doing that. This will be, I think, the fourth year, and we've been really successful with it. I mean, it's had all the benefits that you usually get with that sort of system. It's cut down on all the disparate categories.
Right.
We're able to go through the models a bit faster and, sort of reward effort a little bit better. I think it's not to editorialize too much, but I think that is one of the things that systems can give you sometimes. but all the medals will be presented on the tables, all the golds, silvers, bronzes. The only awards are going to be the special categories and, of course, the juniors. We'll call all of them, but we're going to try to slim it down and hope that speeds things up. The goal is to be done with everything at 3:00.
Perfect.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's
if you can do that, you'll have a lot of
tight
happy
ship.
modelers. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, before we get too much, you said it's the 4th year you've run an open system?
But yeah, I think it's been about 4 years. Yeah.
We've mentioned on these showcases before, or maybe in one of the more recent episodes, that seems to be a growing trend. But yours is 4 years on now, so that's really interesting.
Yeah, I find this. Now, we have a lot of modelers who have been in the group for a substantial amount of time. I mean, and our demographic does skew older. I think it's fair to say, although we have had some younger members coming in. But one thing that I really notice about this club is everybody travels and they go to a lot of the regional shows. So we pick up a lot of what people in Region 4 and adjacent regions are doing. And, Tri Rivers down in Pittsburgh, they've been using a gold, silver, bronze for a while.
Forever. Yeah.
Yeah, and doing real well with it. There's a lot of cross-pollination between our club, Pittsburgh, and Erie, I'd say, traditionally. As a matter of fact, one of our founding members was Jim Bonanni, who was also one of the founding members of IPMS Pittsburgh. And we have a special memorial award for Best British Subject in his name, and we give that out every year.
Yeah, that's John's father, right?
That's John's dad, yeah.
Yep.
Well, does this show have a particular theme this year? And any other special awards?
Well, so not really
other than the one you just mentioned.
Yeah. That's pretty much our. Well, we are going to do something interesting this year, and it's not necessarily a theme, but in conjunction with our, I don't know if you want to say brother or sister club up in Erie, we're going to be doing a People's Choice Cup, where both clubs are going to have a special display area. We're going to have a selection of models to represent each club, and then people are going to vote on that. And the winner of our club will then go up to Erie and will compete at their show coming up. I think it's in October. Just basically to keep things interesting and a little bit of friendly rivalry. So that's something else new we're doing this year.
So is it a traveling trophy? So if they win, they take it back with them?
That's exactly it. Yep.
It's the Stanley Cup.
It's a college football trophy. It's a beer barrel. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Egg and nails.
Yeah. Our other awards, it's pretty much what you'd expect. Best aircraft, best military vehicle, TV, movie vehicle, best F-16, figures, World War II entry. Our special awards, one of our former, unfortunately, late members, Nick Busco, we're going to be giving out. His son's also in the club, so he presents the Best Muscle Car Award. And then we have like Best Civilian Vehicle, Best Dirt Track Racer, of course, the Doc Bonanni Award for Best British Entry, Best Stars and Bars Aircraft, of course, Best in Show and Ace of Aces. And we have a special sponsored award this year for Best Small-Scale Modeler, Best Small-Scale Model by a modeler named Eric with a K.
That's a very specific award.
He's a very specific kind of guy.
I was going to say, something tells me that's a targeted award.
Yeah, but we like to keep it loose. We're pretty informal, honestly, and we try to keep it fun, because if it's not fun and it gets tedious.
Are you going to have food on site? Are there food trucks or restaurants nearby?
We're going to have the little cafeteria type thing with hot dogs and snack type selections. No food trucks or anything like that, but the area immediately around the club is pretty well represented with your typical chain restaurants, Quaker State and Lube. This is their home location. So there's the home Quaker Steak downtown Sharon. There's a smattering of other restaurants real close by. There's a couple of attractions. There's something called Craniac's Christmas Tree Lane, which is this long-standing, I don't even know how to describe it. It basically is it's a store that sells Christmas trees and Christmas stuff and hobby stuff too. but it has this really long promenade full of Christmas tree displays, and it should be up and running by that part of September. So that's good for kids and
Sure.
families. And there's also the Avenue of the 444 Flags, which dates back from the Iran hostage crisis, where
Right.
there's one flag for each day of that, and it's a nice little park and has a nice little memorial set up for it as well. So it's something to see, and it's within maybe a quarter mile of the venue. So, and Hermitage is a charming little sort of like mixed development area, shopping plazas, that kind of stuff. So it's a nice place to just drive around.
Now, what's your vendor area like?
Vendor area, I haven't seen it, but I believe we are at somewhere between 40 and 45 tables, all sold, and it'll be separated. So we typically have a pretty good mix of vendors, heavy on the auto side, but I've also been noticing we've been getting some sci-fi vendors last couple of years too. And supposedly we have some new first-time vendors, some people doing 3D printed stuff. So that should be interesting. I think it's going to be a few new faces than we've seen in previous shows.
Yeah, Mike and I were at the Nats not that awful long ago, and the number of new vendors doing 3D print stuff, it's multiplying out there big time.
Yeah, it's just the nature of the hobby anymore too.
Sure.
You got a raffle during the show?
Well, yes, we do have a raffle. Well, we almost always have, donated kits. It's usually pretty well populated. I'm trying to think if we have anything really special. Usually you just kind of show up and see what is on offer. But
so you said this is your 40th anniversary, 40th time you've done this?
Yep, 40th anniversary show.
Well, then it should run like clockwork by now. You probably do this in your sleep.
Well, Lord knows not me. I mean, I've only been a member of the club for a few years, but it is surprising how well it is organized. It usually comes off pretty much without a hitch. Our judging situation, it's typically chosen that the judges are chosen by our chief judge, who is also the club president. And because we have a lot of returning modelers, it's usually pretty easy to get a quick selection of judges together, hit the floor running, and everyone's on the same wavelength. We have a fair, especially for the armor side, which I'm most familiar with, we have a fair amount of AMPS members come up, and we're all pretty familiar with a gold, silver, bronze system. So, we can cover our armor entries usually pretty quickly and thoroughly. And the car guys, similar story, just a different milieu, but they know what they're doing.
As far as registration is concerned, is there any online forms availability, or where would be the best online place to find information, and what is the registration process?
Our registration process, unfortunately, is still pretty much day of and paper. Haven't really worked that out too fast, but our registration area goes pretty quickly. We haven't had too many problems with backing up. And our only real online presence right now is the Facebook group. So, and that group is IPMS, Shenango Valley Area Scale Modelers. And when you get any of those
Shenango.
SHENANGO. Yeah.
That's for us spelling challenge guys down here in Kentucky.
I think you would probably get it.
Yeah, it's definitely a mouthful.
You've got a Facebook page.
Yes. Yeah. We also have a club entry on the IPMS page as well. We are running into some problems with the old venue coming up on the IPMS site, but if you get that far, you can just link to the club and the new venue is pinned, so it shouldn't be that difficult once you get to the Facebook page. And we'll hopefully have that fixed pretty shortly.
Well, glad you mentioned that, because that could be problematic if folks weren't aware of that ahead of time. So good for that. You mentioned the Dr. Bonani Award. Is there any other special events or anything else that's unique to your show other than the judging format, which is not unique to your show, but it's certainly
becoming
it's becoming non-unique or
right.
not irregular. Anything else?
I mean, I think we're a pretty standard setup, but we do deviate a little bit. Like you said, the gold, silver, bronze is kind of new. Just the general kind of vibe For a smaller show, we have a pretty good representation of really good regional talent. Quality wise, I've always been impressed by what ends up on these tables at this show. And you do end up seeing a lot of the same stuff, shown in Pittsburgh and Cleveland and whatnot. But Dustin Diaz, he's this year's Amps Master. This was his original club, and he would go, and he still goes to our shows yearly. So, we're not lacking for representation of some of the better people out there in the hobby. So that's pretty, I think there's a lot of value to be said about that. Otherwise, I just think it's nice to see a representation of all the different modeling styles out there without any real big ego kick or, that kind of thing. We try to be as inclusive as we possibly can and just keep things welcoming, which I think is everybody's goal, really. But I think this club does it pretty well.
A nice relaxed day is definitely what I want when I go to a model contest. To see my modeling friends have a relaxed time. Yeah, there's a contest going on. Yeah, there's vendor room going on, and I'm going to enjoy all of it. And if you walk away with that, that's a good day.
Yeah, and I mean, not that this is that much of a draw if you go to a lot of competitions, but I think our awards look nice. We've had a very good vendor for years now, and I mean, you start to accumulate these things pretty heavily. Let's be honest, but it is nice to have something that has the club's name on it, and sort of as representative of the show you've gone to. And
sure.
We try to do that, and you'll also, like I think is the norm anymore, you'll see a lot of challenge coins and tokens and things like that on the tables because we try to reward effort as much as possible. And because we have smaller judging teams and we try to get done quickly, we circulate. So if people have questions about, what's gone on with the judging or, want to know a little bit more of, what may have been the difference between a silver and a bronze, we're usually pretty available with that.
Well, that's good. Feedback is one of the things that people do seem to want.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to obviously do it on forums and things like that.
Sure.
I mean, as long as it's a small cadre of guys who, you can kind of interact with, that helps a bit.
So now wrap us up and tell us who, what, when, where. Give us the whole spiel to wrap it up.
Okay. Once again, this is the Shenango Valley Area Scale Model Con, which is SavasCom, if you need to try to pronounce that, SavasCom 40. And it is going to be Saturday, September 20th, 2025. It's at St. Michael's Byzantine Catholic Social Hall, 2230 Highland Road, Hermitage, PA, 16148. And you can find us on Facebook at IPMS Shenango, SHENANGO Valley Scale Model.
Fabulous. Well, Joe, we wish you the best of luck with your show. Hope for high attendance and a record-setting day.
And do us a favor, take plenty of photos, day of show, post them on the dojo so that folks who aren't able to make it there get to see your contest, your new venue, and the models on the tables.
All right, will do. And thank you guys very much for having me on. It's very much appreciated.
Oh, you're very welcome. It's our pleasure.
Yep.
We love doing this and supporting all the regional shows out there.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, they're in a triangle of a fairly high population density up there,
yes.
So I bet that's going to be a pretty good one.
Yep. They've got Cleveland and Columbus and Pittsburgh and Erie and Buffalo. Yeah. I mean, that's close by for all of them. That should be well attended.
Well, I hope it's well attended, and I hope they have a huge success, as we always wish these folks.
Yes.
Because it's a lot of work to put on a show.
Yep. If you're in the area, go. Mike and I are big proponents of people going to shows and interacting in real life with other modelers. You'll enjoy it.
Well, if we were to attend this next show, Dave, we'd be leaving on a jet plane.
There you go. We would.
All the way out to Oregon on the West Coast. Let's see what the fine folks out there got to say. Well, Dave, we are going to zip off to the West Coast now because there's a show out in Oregon hosted by the Oregon Mid-Valley Modelers Club, and we're going to be speaking to Mr. Doug Reed from Albany, Oregon. Doug, how you doing tonight?
Great. Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on.
You're very welcome. Glad to have you.
So where is Albany, Oregon exactly?
Albany, Oregon is in between Portland and Eugene down I-5, about an hour and a half, a little short of that, south of Portland, about 40 minutes north of Eugene.
All right. Well, we hear you got a show coming up here soon. Why don't you give us the ins and outs about when that is and where that is and all that?
Yeah, we do. Thanks. And so we're calling this the Oregon Modelers Jamboree. It's the first year under that name. It's the third year that we've done a fall show in September. It's going to be held at the Lynn County Expo Center at the fairgrounds in Lynn County in Albany. The date is Saturday, September 20th. The gates will open at 9 o'clock in the morning, and awards and closeout will start at about 3:30 in the afternoon. We've got time for vendors and all to set up early, about 7:30 or so. And like you said, it's hosted by us, Oregon Mid-Valley, but we're kind of really seeing this as an Oregon show. We've really pushed for a lot of involvement from the main clubs and groups in Oregon. So we're really looking forward to that.
So when does your registration close?
Registration closes at noon, so between 9 and noon will be the contest registration. Yeah.
Well, is there opportunities for registration online or forms to be printed out online? And where can folks find such information?
Yeah, we have, no, there's not an online registration system per se, but we do have forms available, entry forms that can be downloaded and printed from our website, OregonMidValleyModelers.com, all one word. So people can go there and download and print them out, and we'll have them, of course, available at the registration desk as well.
Okay, we'll put a link in the show notes to the website.
Yeah, be great.
Well, we're always curious about show formats. Is this a standard IPMS type affair, or you guys do something different out there?
It's going to be, the contest itself is standard IPMS. We'll have a 1, 2, 3 judging format with no sweeps. We'll also have display-only categories kind of integrated in with the contest tables, so they won't just be standing out alone. And we've got 57 categories that are open for people to enter. So I think something we're doing a little different is that we're really promoting the idea of club tables. So we've sold so far about 18 club tables to, I think, 6 or 7 different clubs that'll be showing. And we're really encouraging the clubs to show up and promote who they are, bring some stuff to build and work on, show people what you do in the hobby, bring some stuff to display, and really make it kind of about the hobby and the clubs as well as what we're doing, for the contest and vendors and all that. So we really want that sense of it.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, we've enjoyed it. It's been good interaction with the clubs along the way. We've really reached out to several groups here in the state. So.
Now, is this the first time you've done such a thing?
Yeah, it is. It is. And that's why we used to call it Mid-Valley Madness. That was a kind of our show prior, and that's why we changed the name. And again, we want it to be a kind of a celebration of what we do in this hobby and really try to make it a state show, that people in Oregon can feel like this is our show from that standpoint. That's
a real interesting take, and to really celebrate the hobby more than just have a 1, 2, 3 up contest. That's a really unique thing. That's usually one of our questions. What's unique and special about your show? I guess you kind of just answered that. That's would be really interesting post show to see how that was received and how it went. But if you've already sold that many tables, I can't imagine it going sideways.
Yeah. Obviously, you've got vendors. So, approximately how many vendor tables do you have? Or
we've sold almost 38. I think is the last count as of this morning. Vendor tables. We will literally have thousands of kits for sale between the vendors that are coming that we know, who we know, what they're bringing. We've got over 16,000 square feet of space in the Expo Center, so it'll be good sized room.
Oh, that is
to work from. Yeah, it's the Expo Center's been great. They've been wonderful hosts. They love having us there. They're eager to see this to grow as it goes. So they've been great partners with us.
As far as growth's concerned, that's a point we often like to touch on is just generally historically, how big a show has this been in terms of entrance and number of entries and that sort of thing? What can folks expect there?
So going, off of last year's numbers, we had about 350 models on the contest tables. growth is always hard, right? To guess, well, what's it going to be like this year? The feedback we're getting, we're sensing it's going to grow. We're hoping to see maybe 400 to 500 models, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just have to see how that goes. But the feedback and the energy seems to be pretty good. Something we've done is something often neglected in shows in the area, unless they're specific to that, has been the Gunpla and the automotive side of things, at least in our experience. So we've really tried to partner with those two areas within the state and within the clubs that are around, and we're really trying to promote that this year, and we'll see how that goes.
That's a great idea.
To do that, are you tapping into other clubs that are automotive and Gunpla centric?
We do. There's 2 clubs out of Portland that we're working with. The West Coast Gundam Alliance is their name, and the Society of Automotive Builders Association, the SABA group. Those are 2 in particular that we've reached out to, and they're both very eager. They're going to be helping us with judging, helped us with some category definition and the like. And we're really excited for that. And actually, we've got other groups, the IPMS Club in Salem, the Oregon Modeler Society up in Portland, and other groups too. They've all been really engaged and supportive for it. So it's been good.
Now, modelers are usually hungry people. Do you have food on site, or are there going to be food trucks, or there going to be restaurants nearby, or what's the food situation look like?
We will have food on site and in the room.
Oh, okay.
It's great. The facility we're in the corner of the room that we have, this large space, they have a kitchen and food and stuff, and they've arranged for a food vendor supplier to be there. So roughly 10 o'clock till 2 or so, we'll have food available, typical, sandwiches, some hamburgers, things like that.
Sure.
So it'll be right there and a place to eat. And there's a lot of places nearby. There's a lot of places within a mile or so of the fairgrounds. So
aside from your jamboree theme and celebration of the hobby, is there any other theme like is normally accustomed with an IPMS type invitational event or anything like that?
Yeah, we've got 2. We've got, so the show theme, we're calling it Anything Oregon. So any subject, any build somehow related to the state, that there's an award for that. That'll be a theme subject award. We'll have a trophy for that. And we're encouraging people to be creative in that, whatever that looks like. And our club mascot or symbol, that I guess you'd say, is a shark mouth. That's been traditional with our club since we've been formed. And so we've sponsored in the past a Best Shark Mouth Award for anything related to shark mouth. And this year, Tony Quattaro, who's known as the deck guy, he does beautiful bases and all. He's actually sponsored that award, and he's got a beautiful trophy for us. So those will be the 2 main awards.
How is your awards presentation? Do you all put out the first, second, and thirds on the table and just announce the best ofs and the juniors, or do you announce all the awards for all the categories? What's that look like?
Right. Yeah, no, we have little medallions with ribbons that will have the categories on them. Those are the category awards, and those will go on the tables after judging is done, like is often done. And then we announce the best of each of the classes. There's 9 of them. And then, of course, the main awards as well. The judges' best of show, the People's Choice, and then the 2 sponsored awards as well. We'll do it that way.
Well, that's another thing we're seeing quite a bit of, Dave, is that folks are trying to shorten that up a little bit.
Yeah.
Have you done it that way historically?
We've always done that, and I think most of the shows actually I've been to have done that. I think one of them I went to earlier this year did it where they announced all the categories as well. But we've done it this way for a while.
Tell me again exactly the when, the where, the details of the show.
Okay, so it is September 20th. Doors open at 9 a.m. Registration closes at noon. We'll start handing out awards at about 3:30. It's at the Lynn County Expo Center in Albany, Oregon, at the fairgrounds there. And something else I'll mention, too, as a closing thing maybe, is that we have T-shirts available.
Oh.
We decided to come up with T-shirts. And so they'll be available on site. And, of course, you can even contact me and order them through the mail if people want. So,
that's neat.
We're glad to promote it. So that's kind of the deal.
Is this the first year you've done T-shirts? Or are you doing it because you changed the name and all of that?
We did it. We did it. It's the first year. Yeah. And we did it with the whole promotion and what we're trying to achieve. So yeah, it's really intended to do that.
Gotcha.
So, and we intend to keep it going. We'll see how that goes.
Well, that was my next question. Is this a theme and format you hope to make it's like a sea change in the way you've done things in the past? And
yeah, we want to keep it going. The Oregon Modelers Jamboree we hope will become an annual thing. That's our plan. We've got the venue booked out for another couple years, and we'll continue to promote it within the clubs, and not just the state. I make a big deal of the state, but within the Northwest. We've got the Seattle guys will come down. They've got a couple tables. So yeah, we want to make this a growing thing for just the hobby in general. Yeah.
We've got a few friends up that way. So
yeah,
right.
You watch out if Tim Nelson or Jim Bates shows up.
I'll tell you, they've been great partners with us over the years.
They're great guys
in terms of those guys. It's been great. We love those guys.
Yeah, don't tell them that.
Yeah. Okay.
That'll just be between us.
Well,
right.
Again, just for my curiosity, how many other clubs do you have participating in these extra tables you mentioned?
We have, I think, 8 signed up so far.
Okay.
And yeah, we have 8 so far. 2 are from Seattle area. We've got, I think, 6 signed up from Oregon so far. And all 8 clubs kind of so far in Oregon are going to be there. So
that's great. That's fantastic participation.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really interested in how this is going to shake out at the end, and we would certainly want an update post show and even photographs. You can provide them back to us through the Plastic Model Dojo Facebook group. Would be great. I just think I don't know anybody else really doing that, at least not in our region or any of the shows we've ever talked to, and I really think that's a unique take that could get some traction with a lot of other clubs and kind of be possibly even a format change adopted by other clubs. It's something that would be more common throughout the nation. I just think that'd be a really cool thing.
I do too. I really think that idea, just like display in general, is growing. I think that idea of club tables and club representation, people sitting there, like you said, club members from the different clubs sitting behind the tables, maybe working on stuff, there to whether they've got a theme display or just a smattering of whatever their club members have built. I can really see that taking off.
We're really hopeful for that. And of course, it'll be a growing thing. We'll see how this goes and we'll adjust as we go. But that certainly is our dream and our goal, Dave. Yeah.
Well, Doug, we wish you the best in this show. And again, I want to repeat that we're real curious how that the club tables works out. And I just think that's a really terrific idea. And we certainly want to hear a follow-up about that, either on the dojo or via email. We can handle it that way. But we wish you all the success on your show, just like we wish everybody have success with their shows. I mean, the shows are a lot of fun, and it sounds like you guys got your pulse on the community out there in Oregon. So hopefully the folks up in the Pacific Northwest will have just a grand time attending your event.
And Doug, I got 3 requests for you before you go. Number 1, repeat the website where people can find forms that they can print and fill out ahead of time.
Okay. It's one word, OregonMidValleyModelers.com.
Okay. Number 2 is when the show's going on, take a lot of pictures, particularly of those club tables, post them on the dojo. And number 3, when this episode drops, the day this episode drops, please go on to the dojo and post a picture of your all's flyer for the show so that people hear it, they go to the dojo, they see the flyer, so that'll have the information displayed in front of them permanently, just to help maximize the number of people who get to hear about this show and possibly attend.
Okay, I will do that. Thank you. That's great. Appreciate it. And I appreciate it all you guys are doing to promote these shows in general and hobby in general. So it's really good.
Well,
Thank you.
As you know from listening to the show, we are big fans of model shows, not necessarily for the contests, although the contests are nice and all, but for the fact that you get to meet up with other modelers, some you've never interacted with before, some that you may have only interacted with online. And the social aspect of a show is really good for what is otherwise many times a very solitary hobby.
That's spot on. And our sense of building community is what we're kind of all about as a club as well. Just promoting what we do together and enjoying each other doing it. So yeah, spot on with that.
All right. Well, we'll let you get back to your own bench, Doug. And we thank you for joining us. And again, we wish you the best of luck with your event.
Great. Thanks, guys.
You're very welcome.
Appreciate it.
Well, Dave, that club table angle is sure to be a success. I can't think that's not going to go over well.
Yep. No, I think that's something that could catch on and be replicated at shows across the country.
Yeah, I do too. And, we joked after we got off of the recording session with him that the sell is a couple of folks that have a place to sit down during the day if they're having to man a club table, because sometimes the dogs get tired of some of these shows.
Yeah, especially a lot of these places that have concrete floors. I'll tell you what, about the only downside at the Nationals was after 4 days on hard concrete, my dogs were barking.
Hell, mine were too, and my lower back was just trying to complain a little bit, but we survived. So hopefully Doug will follow up and let us know how that went. And I just want to reach out to Mojovia and ask any guys out there who are planning a show either the latter part of this year or sometime in the next year, if hearing that would put that on your radar as something to consider, because I think it's just a really good idea.
And if any of the listeners are out in that area, please go to the show. Again, Mike and I are huge fans of shows and interacting with other modelers in real life. And that sounds like it's going to be a really interesting show. So if you've got the ability to do so, go.
Well, those aren't the only shows in September, Dave.
No, they're not.
Our own Military Modelers Club of Louisville has one too, and we pitched it in the show spotlight last year, but we'd be remiss not to mention it, at least at the tail end of this thing.
Yes.
Well, Dave, we got the information for that. Our show is Saturday, September 27th at the Paraquet Springs Convention Center in Shepherdsville, Kentucky. Folks can go to our website, mmcl.org. That's mmcl.org/2025-contest. We'll put this in the show notes as well. Our theme this year is the Great War. We're kind of in a little population center too. We get a lot of folks from a lot of the surrounding cities, St. Louis, Nashville, Knoxville sometimes, Chattanooga, Cincinnati, Columbus,
Dayton.
All those folks. So, great theme this year, World War I.
A great theme.
For a great war.
Right.
The Great War. No wars.
The Great War.
The Great War. Yeah. So, folks, check that out on the club website. We'll link it in the show notes. So there's a lot of shows folks all over the country consider. And until these shows start, Dave, as we always say,
so many kicks,
so little time.